You may remember me from my television shows in the 1980s and 90s. And now I host a regularly live streamed virtual magic showcase featuring some of the greatest magicians in the world. Welcome to Dr. Michael's Friday Night Wizard Emporium. And welcome back, everybody, to my Friday Night Wizard Emporium. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you here. It's also a pleasure and an honor to have our Facebook audience watching. And most of all, a pleasure and an honor to have our very, very special guests on this time. We do air the first Friday of every month through Facebook and through your Zoom seats as well. So be sure to sign up for that very shortly for the next show, which will also be amazing. Speaking of amazing, I'd love to introduce to you someone I discovered one day. I was browsing through Instagram or some social media and saw this person doing really cool thing with coins and cards, and she just felt really, really good. So I reached out to her and I said, would you like to come on the show? And of course she refused and ghosted me. No, she thankfully she said yes, and I want to introduce her to all of you right now. Coming up, let's put our hands together for the amazing Ari Rose.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you, Dr. Michael, for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. My name is Ari Rose, and I'm a magician based out of Orlando, Florida, in the United States. I will be doing a coin routine or a few coin routines today, and they are based on the premise of energy. Now, we all know that energy exists everywhere, but it's up to us to harness it for ourselves. You see, you can sometimes take energy from different places or even different people if you really want. And it can travel. We all know energy travels everywhere, just like magic.
Years I could have stopped those hackers from trying to steal my.
It's almost amazing because you can constantly see the energy changing places, shifting places, and you never know where it's going to go. Sometimes you even get rid of energy and it'll come back. But it's always up to you to protect your energy. Because when you're feeling a little depleted, sometimes you just have to sit, breathe in, breathe out, calm down, and then your energy will come back to you in its full forms. But as I said before, energy is always shifting from one place to the other, back and forth, like a little dance that we have, constantly coming and going. But again, you should always make sure to surround yourself with people, places, and things that will replenish your energy so that you feel whole. That's my routine. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Ari. Wow,
Thank you.
you're a person of many, many gifts and talents. I happened to browse through, I think it was your website or social media. You're a dancer, you do magic, you do all these different things. Share with us what you do, all your different offerings.
Thank you. So I am a professional dancer and a professional model as well as a professional magician. My journey into this was very interesting. I worked for an illusionist because of my background as a dancer, and then took to doing close-up magic myself. It's been a very, very interesting journey, and you'll see a lot of influence about dance in the way that I move my hands and everything when I do coin magic in particular. But yes, that's what I do, and that's my sort of history.
Awesome. Yes, you're a dancer and it shows. For me, it's Tai Chi and Qigong. So apparently it shows, I'm told as well.
Yes.
Who were your earlier influences, or who do you admire currently? Do you have a favorite actor, actress, magician? We all need mentors. We all need people we admire and sometimes pattern ourselves after. Who do you like?
So I have a lot of influences, specifically the people that are around me, all the magicians that I interact with at our local meetings, the people that have taken me on as a student. And as far as performative goes, I really admire Darren Brown's style. He's an incredible performer and has an incredible style that I really greatly admire.
Yes, he's awesome. He's just amazing. Someone to admire as well. If people want to book you, how can they get in touch with you?
So you can get in touch with me a few different ways. You can contact me through Facebook, which is Ari Fleischman or Ari Rose. You can contact me through Instagram. It's Ari underscore magical underscore life. You can email me at arirose@gmail.com, or you can contact me through my website, which is the same name.
Wonderful. And it'll, in the final run, when I post this to YouTube and other social media, your particulars will be listed under you in that frame. So very
Thank you
good.
very
Thank you so much for honoring us this day, Ari, and I'm hoping you'll come back on a future show.
much. Yes, I would love to. Thank you so much for this
Wonderful.
opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ari Rose, everybody. Wow, I'm very excited about our next entertainer. He couldn't make it. He actually had a paying gig, and he's always fun when he appears on the Tuesday Night Magic Theater or open mic magic show. You can find those on Facebook. Um, what can I say about a man who's cuckoo but also brilliant? Let's please put our hands together. On video, we have the great Micah Cover.
Hey, Dr. Michael, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there in person, so I thought you might accept this video so I could be there in spirit, which is a kind of magic in itself. And it reminded me about how you've been able to bring together so many different magicians from so many ages and walks of life and countries and continents and cultures. And I thought, even though sometimes we may feel separate, it's people like you and your show who bring us together. So you might notice there are random letters on these cards, and I can even randomize things further. I can cut them wherever I want, as many times as I want. I can even burn one to the bottom. And here I can make different choices, burn that one to the bottom, and maybe cut down here, and maybe cut up there, and make different choices than the first pile, randomizing things even more. I can even switch the cards, 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 cards, but I can deal 1 or switch 2, deal 1, 2, 3, and then switch 2. And then with this pile, I can make different choices, maybe switch 1, 2, 3, deal 1, 2, 3, 4, switch 1, 2, deal 1, 2, 3. I could have cut here, there, dealt, switched, and the same thing is true of this pile. I could have cut here, there, dealt, switched, it doesn't matter. But now that they're face down and no one can tell the difference between the randomized cards, including me, I'm just going to choose a random one somewhere in the middle. That one's kind of speaking to me. Now I can go further, but for some reason that one speaks to me, and I'm not going to reveal it yet, even to myself, but I am going to bookmark where it is, and therefore making sure we always know what it is. It's that one sticking out right there. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. Here are all the randomized letters. And not only are the letters random, you'll notice that there's not a single match. But here is the card that for whatever reason was calling out to me. So I'm going to slide it to the side. And I'm going to do the same with the corresponding card on the other randomized pile. But I'll keep going. And again, as you can see, there's no matches. I could have cut here, there, dealt, switched. And I could have cut here or there, or dealt or switched. It doesn't matter. But I'm going to take your cards. And there's a reason why I said your cards, because I think this worked. And it did. It's the only match in the 2 randomized piles, and it's you, Dr. Michael. You brought all of these elements together. But if that worked in this card trick, and it worked in real life, why can't it magically work everywhere? There's Ari Rose. I don't think we've had the pleasure yet, but I hope it happens soon. Ari Rose. And there's the man who knows too much, Mr. Tommy Burnett. You have brought us together with him. And the matches continue. Lee Germain, it's always a pleasure being his volunteer. Now remember, these were all randomized and no matches just moments ago. But underneath your leadership, here comes John the Great, who is everyone's mate. Is there another match? There is. My fellow Californian, Magic Mitch. Is there another match? There is. Mr. Simon Percy. I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting yet, but I hope it happens soon. Is there another match? Oh, the wonderful Paul Abbey. Everyone loves him. Oh, this guy. You brought me together with all of these wonderful other magicians. Has it still worked? Yes, there's Roy Stone, and a fantastic magician. And speaking of fantastic magicians, there's the wonderful Robina, who always inspires me. And speaking of inspiration, Robina and Kevin Peele were the 2 people, along with you, Dr. Michael Leakey, who is keeping this wonderful movement of international magic alive. Thank you, Dr. Michael. It's such a pleasure to be a part of this, and I hope you enjoyed your video.
Wonderful, wonderful. Micah Cover from the US of A. We had Ari Rose from the US of A as well. And before we move on, I want to just acknowledge someone special in our audience who's a legend in the world of magic, George Schindler. I want to just acknowledge him. Thank you, please, George, for attending. It's always an honor. Moving right along, we're going to zip over by plane or maybe some kind of time travel, I'm not sure, over to the UK, where we have the always dapper, the always amazing Paul Abbey. Let's put our hands together for Paul.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Michael. It's great to be back here again. Welcome back to sunny, very sunny Surrey in the UK here today. It's been very, very sunny indeed. It's been very warm. It's been started at about 17 degrees centigrade, got hotter, and it's about 29, 30 now. And it's pretty warm. I have to say, I'm pretty warm in this suit, but I'm going to cope. I'm going to get through it and see how I get through, because I've got my oscillating fan behind my table here and it's on full blast. My air conditioner went wrong, so I'm just going to have to cope. But you know what? It could be worse. It could be worse. If you really, really wanted some warm sunshine and you really, really wanted some heat, you could always go to the USA, to Death Valley, where apparently, I checked just the other night, it's about 134 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Yeah, you're going to get a bit of a tan if you go over there. I think I'll just stay with the Mediterranean and my vodka martinis on the beach somewhere in Spain for now. Anyway, so welcome to the show. It's always great to be here. I couldn't make it last month. I can't believe it's 2 months that's gone by since the last show. That's crazy. So here we go. Here we go. So we're in my lovely home. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you over to my table. So I want you to imagine that you've just come into my lovely room here, my dining room, and you're just going to pull up a chair. So here we go. We're going to sit down, nice and cozy, gather around. Going to pull this over here. Here we go. And just bring this down here a little bit. Okie doke. Now I'm going to put these on because I can't see otherwise. And I'm going to get these little guys out. I'm going to show you something with something from here. Now, I've got a bit of a theme tonight. The theme is the twist. Now, I don't mean the dance. I mean, I can do the dance. Would you believe I trained as a dancer, just like our special younger guest who joined us earlier on this evening. But I've got a bit of a dodgy hip now, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to do some crazy stuff with the cards instead. So come down here. Come on, come down here. Have a look down here. Here we go. So what we got is a deck of cards. Now, we've got a really, really popular program over here in the UK, and it's called Blue Peter. And Blue Peter is a very, very popular program because it's for youngsters. And they've got this really, really catchy thing that they do where they go to show everybody what they're going to do. And they do it by preparing things earlier. So this is what I've done here in Best Blue Peter tradition. I've prepared something. So I've prepared a card that's folded this way. And I've got a card that's folded this way. And the whole idea of this is that the cards just slide past each other. That's it. That's all they do. Just slide past each other like that. Simple and simple, simple as that. Okay. So I'm going to bring you back up. Come on, come up here again so you can see this a little bit better. Here we go. Here we go. There you go. There you go. You're all in screen. I'm going to sit up straight so you can see how this works. Now, there was a very, very cool program that I remember when I was younger called The Twilight Zone. And they're doing reruns of this as well at the moment, which is very, very cool. And if you've ever seen the originals or if you're seeing the reruns at the moment, you'll be aware of the fact that they always talk about, we're going to welcome you to the world, the strange world of the Twilight Zone. We're going to introduce you to the vertical. We're going to introduce you to the horizontal. But in this particular case, I'm going to introduce you to something even weirder. So let's just fold them like that and hold it up like this and watch this really carefully. You ready for this? Here we go. Remember, I was talking about the twist. Well, I'm not going to twist, but these cards sure are. Whoa. Isn't that weird? Okay. And, oh yeah, here we go. We're going to turn it around the other way. Watch it go, watch it go. Here we go. Oh yeah, look, look, look. You can't get much closer than this. Very cool. Okay, let me show you what's going on here because people go, that's so weird. Well, isn't it weird? All right, it really, really is weird. Let me show you. Because remember what I told you, we've got just two cards and they just slide past each other like this. This is it. This is all we got. We got two cards. One's folded one way, one's folded the other. That's it. All right. Okay, here we go. We're going to do something even weirder. Stay with me, sitting comfortably, come close. Watch this really, really carefully. Remember what I said before? All that happens is the cards just pass each other. Yeah, that's all they do. They just pass each other like this really, really slowly, really, really carefully. Okay, now we're going to do kind of the same thing as what we did before, but we're going to do this. We're going to add something to it. Remember what I did before? We folded the card like this. Yeah, come close. And we hold the cards like this. And then we do this. Now you have to ask yourself some questions. And I'm going to prompt you with those questions at the very end. Okay, see what's happening. It's really doing something weird. Oh yeah, and it's doing it the other side. Look, 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 check it out, check it out. Now, let's throw a spanner in the works. Oh yeah, that's stop halfway. Now watch this. I'm going to bend and fold the card. All right. Come closer. Yeah, yeah. Come closer. Come right down to the table here so you can see what's going on. You ready for this? We're going to do this with the cards. Oh my gosh. What we done? What we done? Okay, let's just lay that one there. And then that one there. And watch this. You ready for this? You ready for this? Wow. That one's gone. Wow. That one's gone. And look what we got left. The twisted card actually twisted halfway and finished itself like that. So the question is, was that magic? Was that an illusion? Or was that something paranormal? Now, Dr. Michael, I said to you earlier on that I was going to do something else with this. Do you remember?
I do.
You see,
I'm looking forward to it.
That was twisting the cards. Now, I got a very, very good friend and colleague of mine here in the UK by the name of Angelo Carboni, and he's got a very, very furtive mind. I'm going to stand up for this. You're going to come with me? Yeah, okay, here we go. We're going to stand up for this. Lose the chair, and I've got this little gizmo at the back here. Here we go, here we go, here we go. This. What is this? What is this? Okay, well, he presented me with this a little while ago, and I was intrigued. And I said, what on earth is this? And he said, well, you like things that twist. And he said, I made you this to work it out. And normally, what you do is you have a lovely assistant with you and who holds the box while I do my thing. Well, hey, I'm on my own here, so I kind of work this out, how to do it. So this is what you do. This is really weird. You place your arm all the way through this box, and you probably notice there's a bar here. I'll come closer, you can see, and you grab hold of that bar. That's it. Got it? Show you the other side. Kind of a bit descriptive. Here we go. This is what you do. So what happens is I hold on to that, and then normally a lovely assistant grabs hold of this bit here with my hand in it and does this, and does this, and does this. All I've got to do is keep hold of that handle. Just keep hold of the handle. And you might think to yourself, is this painful? Well, remember, I said it's not really about pain. It's about kind of paranormal stuff. It's a kind of like weirdness. And I would say it's not painful. It just feels really uncomfortable. Whew, weird. If it was that painful, I wouldn't do it, trust me. But hey, my arm's kind of got a little bit of a twist in it now. So just like I did with the cards, I'm going to kind of undo it, but I'm not going to tear it in half this time. That would be bad. This could get messy. Oh, yeah. So we're going to twist it back the other way, all the way around. And yeah, not painful, but just weird. It just feels really, really, really strange. Oh, my God. Okay. And this is the really disturbing bit is when you take that out. And it's not so much my arm I'm worried about. It's more about my suit. I'll leave that to you to tell me what you think that was all about.
Lovely, lovely. Paul Abbey. Looks like you have a new twist on your magic this show. It's fantastic.
There's
And I'm
more.
not just saying this. I really mean that. Your card warp was one of the best presentations I've ever seen of it. It's really beautiful. And we've all heard of the body twister. I've never seen an arm twister, a hand twister like that. It's fantastic as well. Fantastic. I'm going to ask you what I intend to ask a lot of our performers this show, who your early influences are or were, who you admire either as a performance artist or otherwise. I know you teach Tai Chi, and I love Tai Chi. I do it myself twice daily, as well as Kung Fu or Gong Fu, if you will. And so I know that helps on so many levels. Is there a particular teacher or master that you love that you can relate to, or that could be in the world of magic or any area?
Oh, crikey. Dr. Michael, we could talk about this all night. It's a whole field that you know what I'm like once I start talking. We could do a whole program on this. But yeah, my magic influence is definitely David Nixon, because it was my area when I grew up. It was a quintessential English gentleman magician who had the great Ali Bongo, who was his wonderful assistant with him, who kind of acted as his butler, and of course the wonderful Anita Harris. There's an interesting short story about that where Anita Harris came along to a special show in memory of the late Ali Bongo, and I didn't know she was in the audience. And Ali, many years before, had given me a Siberian chain escape chain that was actually used on the David Nixon show that he had made for the BBC for the show. And I dressed up in my tartan outfit because Ali Bongo's real name was William Wallace, Scottish heritage, of course. And I was doing this Siberian chain escape and I needed somebody from the audience. Not going to believe it. Anita Harris was in the audience, and I said, "Oh my God, would you come up and help me?" Which he'd actually done that on the David Nixon show, and that was a major memory of mine. So that was my memory of David Nixon. If you want me to mention other names, Mark Wilson, of course, who I met with his lovely family, who obviously worked with Bill Bixby on the TV series The Magician, which really, really heavily influenced me as a younger man. There was Doug Henning, of course, because he was so radical. And of course, the late, great Paul Daniels, who was very, very helpful to me in my first TV appearance. So I'll never forget him for that. And for another memory was my neighbour, a wonderful chap who's long gone now, a guy called George Clark, who I didn't realise was a magician until I showed him a trick one day. And then he showed me he was a member of the Magic Circle, and then it kind of snowballed from there. But yeah, and interesting with the Tai Chi, I'm starting during the COVID crisis, I was doing Tai Chi as a Zoom class, and now I've actually gone back to doing a live class very close to here, working with a Sifu Kung Fu master, a guy called Suki Wang, who you could look up. He's written books. He's a really, really cool guy. And I've got a nice bunch of people that are I'm teaching at the moment. So there you go.
Fantastic, fantastic, very exciting. And like many performers, you are multi-layered. You don't just love the one or the other. You have multi-interests, and they show. They really do show in your movements and your cadence and your pacing as well. And I want to encourage all magicians out there, young or advanced, will say, to seek out more disciplines. I like to call them disciplines, or more arts, if you will. And you'll find on so many levels it helps. It helps not only your on-stage presentations, but your off-stage life as well. How can people get in touch with you, Paul Abbey?
Oh yeah, just to finish that, yes, I mean, I trained as an actor originally before I became a magician. If I hadn't trained as an actor, I probably wouldn't have done magic professionally. And to reach me, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I've got my own Facebook group with Paul Abbey Magician. It's a very unusual name, Paul Abbey, A-B-B-E-Y. I always say to people, just remember Westminster Abbey, you can't go wrong with that. And if you want to email me, it's paulabbey.uk@gmail.com.
Wonderful. As always, a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show, Mr. Paul Abbey from the UK. Let's hear it for Paul. Thank you, Paul. And coming up next, we're going to stay in the UK. And the last time, I believe, this person couldn't make it in person, so he sent a very entertaining video. We're lucky enough to have him in person. We're staying in the UK for the marvelous, the magical Roy Stone. Let's put our hands together for Roy.
Hey up, me ducks. So tonight I thought I'd do a little bit of something different. As a magician, sometimes your job is to influence people and predict things. So tonight I thought I'd reverse role it just a little bit. Dr. Michael, I'll just use you, save having to find anyone. What we're going to do, Dr. Michael, I'm going to ask you to name me a number. I'm going to deal the cards off. We're going to go between 20 and 40.
Let's do magical 22.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Now, I don't expect you to have any, we'll get rid of that. We don't expect you to have any cards next to you. But I'm going to ask you to pick a number between, maybe if you want to write down or just remember, between, say, 5 and 15.
Let's
Okay,
say,
don't tell me what it is. Just keep it to
okay,
yourself.
I've got it. I've got it in
Okay.
my head.
Uh, so you're making all the choices, and you're going to sort of influence the outcome, the prediction, if you like. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say that I've got the same. So imagine your numbers cards. I've got the same amount of cards as you. Um, and then I'm going to say I've got two more. I think I'll go, yeah, two more. I don't remember, I don't know what your number is, but I think I'll have two more. And then I'll have the same amount of cards left to make your number up to 20. So that's my prediction based on what your choice is. So what was your number?
It was 8.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That's your number. And I said I'd have two more. So 1, 2. And that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 and 8 equals the number that I predicted, 20.
Wow. Wow.
So
Wonderful.
we was able to influence you. I'm just going to do one more thing with the cards. Okay, I'm just going to give them a random mix. So we'll just take the top card. Okay, we've mixed it up. We'll take the card. I'm going to do something. This is my. Oh, you're not going to get that, I don't think, but it's a bit glary. It's my business card. It's got all stickers on my business, and people just scan it. And the thing, it's just a plastic card, really. I'm also, it's not a real one, but we're going to use a $100 bill. I don't use real ones because people tend to take them and don't give them back. And I want you to notice that there's no cuts, no slits, no rips, nothing in the bill. And we're going to take the bill and we're going to put it in the inside the frame. It's got a clear window on one side. It's that so you can see the bill. Okay. We're going to take the random card. Remember, it's just a chosen random card, and we're going to put that inside the note, like so. And we're going to push it and try. There we go. We'll force it to rip the note and through the bottom of the note. And just to show you, it is in there. Look, as it's moving about, it's gone through the note. And if I show you from that side, it's bad, but it's gone through that side. So it's gone through the note. You can see it's moving. Okay. Now that's pretty magical that I've managed to force a bill through a note. But that's not really the magic part. The magic part comes when we turn it over. Although the card's gone through the note, if we pull the note out, rip it out, like so, we're left with a card. As you can see, the card did go through the note, did go through the frame. But the magical part is, if you really can examine that, there's no tears, no rips, no cuts, anything. It was an impossible penetration. And you're a winner. So
Fantastic.
thank you.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say, Roy, is fantastic. And wow. You're often on the Tuesday Night Magic Theater. Just check Facebook out there or Open Mic Magic as well. A wonderful thing that Kevin Peel, who is our techie person and will be appearing near the end as well, he's put together along with the lovely Robina, who's coming up shortly as well. Who were some of your influences? Who do you admire as a performer, magician, etc.?
Probably the first one ever, and I actually had the pleasure of working with. He came to the holiday camp, and I used to do holiday camps. But what you probably call your summer camps, we just call them holiday camps. People go for holidays in England. Tommy Cooper, and I was a stage manager, so obviously I was influenced by him. Being backstage, I sort of saw perhaps some of the bits you don't normally see. Thought he was a very good, very great, a great magician actually, although he tended to get things wrong. So I was very influenced by Tommy. I'm not sort of influenced by a lot of the old time masters, if you like. I've just downloaded some more Walton stuff. Probably my first influence, because I like comedy magic and strange magic, and one of the first people I sort of started watching videos of and learning from was Jay Sankey. Strange enough,
Yes.
choosing was Jay Sankey. Well, I have met and he's a lovely guy. With Jay Sankey, I was sort of influenced by him. And there's an Australian magician. I don't know, probably no one's ever heard of him. I don't know what his second name was. He was just called Justin. He was a bit of a clown thing, and he used to put tricks on his website. that you can build and anyone could perform. So I was sort of influenced by him. And probably my greatest influence is, and I still watch his videos over and over again and read his stuff, is Aldolo Combini. I just love
Yes.
the simplicity of
Yes.
what he does and how he makes it simple and how talented he was. And then closer to home, there's a few musicians on Facebook, Paul Monk, something I can't think of his name, the great Master Payne, people like him, there's another guy that posts him and he's quite well known. He's a circus performer who does magic, and I just forgot his name. I think there's so many great performers out there. It's hard to choose one, isn't it?
That's true. That's very, very true. I love Jay Sankey myself. He's a Toronto boy. He's from Canada, on the other side of our country. I'm on one side and he's on the other. But I love his madcapness, his craziness. But the guy's a genius. He's come up with so many different effects, and the methodologies as well are fantastic.
I also like I like scams. I collect puzzles. I've got boxes and boxes of puzzles. I love puzzles and I buy puzzles off the internet all the time. So I used to like a program called Scam School. I don't
Oh,
know if you
yes.
and I like the
Yes.
scam, the bar bets and things like that. So that I like that. So I don't just do magic. I do scams and bar bets when I'm performing.
Ah, very cool. Very cool. How many of us out there have been fooled or taken in by those bar bets? So fantastic. How can people get in touch with you if they want to
Uh,
book you for
I have a
something?
website. It's easy. If you Google Roy Stone magician, I'm the only one that comes up. So I come up on the top of Google. But it's the website's Roy slash Stone slash magic.com. I'm on Facebook and all the other usual things. So I'm not hard to find, and I'm not hard to
Very
forget.
good. Very good. Always a pleasure and an honor. Thank you for gracing us this day, Roy Stone. Thanks once again, Roy.
Thank you.
Well, from the UK, we're going to move over to North America, to the US of A in particular. And it is somebody who I admire greatly. Her show is filled with color and whimsy. There's a word for you that just popped into my head. She's a whimsical entertainer, magician. She's often on, in fact, every time. She's the co-founder of Tuesday Night Magic Theater and appears on there and appears the next day on Wednesday on Open Mic Magic with Kevin Peel every Wednesday and Tuesday on Facebook. So if you haven't seen those performances, they're really worth watching. I want to welcome once again to our virtual stage. With her permission, we're showing a video of the great Robina the Enchantress. Let's put our hands together for her.
You, Mr. Villa.
Wonderful. Wonderful job. Let's put our hands together for Robina, the Enchantress. Thank you, Robina.
Oh,
It's always hard to select a video of you performing. Do you know why?
oh, because it's so strange every week. It's like, well, what strange thing should I pick now?
Well, because there's so many good ones. You know, I'm partial to the butterfly ones, and they're all colorful, so they're very, very hard to select. So I hope that this one you were pleased with, and I particularly enjoyed the smoke and the lights. To me, that's very, very magical as well. And of course, the flowers. You cannot have a magic show without blooming flowers, which sounds like I'm swearing in England, but I'm not.
Yes, depends what part
Um,
of the world you're at, right?
how do you? Because you come up with at least two different routines weekly. How do you do that on Tuesday Night Magic Theater and Open Mic Magic?
I'm not quite sure. So I really stretch my brain. I start out by developing a story. And it was interesting because we were talking earlier about finding a story, finding something from when you were younger and expanding upon that. And I find a story, and sometimes I look and find a background, say, oh, now this setting will inspire me this week, and then I'll get the story, and I'll start putting the magic together, something that emphasizes that story. So I usually get the story first and then add the magic to make it magical, I suppose, is what I say.
Yes, and it is magical. It truly is. I look forward to each week. Well, first of all, to participate. It gives me something to look forward to try out new stuff. And of course, I love all the entertainers on that show. But there's a certain amount of curiosity for me. For example, what's Rubina going to do this show? What's she going to do next show? Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be? And you often surprise me, and I love it. I just remembered I want to share this with you. I guess they're called CDs. Your silk through CD, or maybe it's a coin with a hole in it, but it looks fantastic and truly magical. A nice blend of different objects intertwining. That sounds kind of odd, but I really
One
mean
of my
that. I
favorites,
really
yes.
mean that. How can people get in touch with you if they want to book you for a show?
Uh, my website is robinamagic.com, and you can contact me there. You can also see the links to get the tickets for Tuesday and Wednesday shows if you want to do that. Let's see. And one thing I wanted to say, you've been asking about who inspired you.
Yes.
Like Ari Rose, I was a dancer. So I was a dancer since I was 7 years old. I did all types of folk dancing. I started out doing Hawaiian dancing, and I did some ballet, but that just really just didn't fit me. But I did all different types of folk dancing. And when I started dating this magician, and I go, oh, would you teach me something to do? I want to add something to my magic show. And he goes, oh no, you're not a member of the club. So, so I know, mean guy. So I went to one of the best magicians in our local club, who I thought was the best one. His name was Frank Ramirez. Just excellent. He is not with us anymore, which is a great loss to the magic community. But I go, Frank, I want to start taking lessons. And he came to my dance performances all the time. And what he would do is he would come up with something. Okay, now when you do this, then you produce this silk, and then you can reach over and come up with this. And the CDs were kind of funny looking, so that's when we came. Actually, those are the discs from inside of computers. But if you look at it,
Ah,
it certainly has no breaks in it, and I tried bracelets, but those are not quite as effective, and so
yes.
the disc come out beautifully. And so Frank started coming out with the we did that one, and he came up with, we did a linking rope routine where actually the rope was then attached through my costume, and I could then do this linking rope and come out with this little rope that's about 10 feet long. So that was always fun. I haven't done that one in a while, but Frank was just wonderful at coming up with magic to put in. And then two other performers that truly inspired me were Vito Lupo. When I saw him perform the first time, I just went, oh my God, I need to learn from that man. And I never really had the opportunity to do that because there were not many virtual classes, but I did get to take a workshop from him, and it was either SAM convention or IBM convention. And then Jeff McBride is the other one that I just fell in love with, him and Abigail, and I have been following them ever since.
Fantastic. Your dance background really shows. My wife Sue and I, we watch you when I'm doing the Tuesday night and open mic magic as well. And I say to her, I'm muted, so you guys don't hear that. It's like, look, look at that beautiful dance movement and the grace. And it sure shows. It sure shows. I want to thank you so much for joining us this day, Robina the Enchantress. And we'll
Thank you
see you
so
soon,
much.
I hope.
Yes.
Thank you. Wow, we are clipping along. I don't believe we're going now from the US of A to the UK. And he's one of my favorites. Um, in the world of magic, we call them bizarre magicians, bizarrists. We have various names, sometimes mentalists. But this fellow in particular, he builds really neat props as well, of which I own a few. And it's the first time on our show. He's also going to guest tomorrow. If you're watching this on Friday, August 2nd, you'll see him on August 3rd tomorrow on Tommy Burnett's show, his chat show called Mind Over Magic. And if you've missed it, you can watch the playback I'm sure, on Facebook. But it's well worth catching. Please put your hands together for my next guest, the mysterious Simon Piercy.
Thanks, Dr. Michael. So those of you who called me on the Tuesday Night Magic show a couple of weeks back, didn't go so well for me. So I thought I'd do something where if it doesn't go so well for me this time, it'll be my last performance. So wish me luck. For this, I am going to need a volunteer. Anyone would like to join me up on the stage? See if anyone's raising their hand. Tommy Burnett.
Hello, Simon.
Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Looking forward to our talk tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to your show tomorrow. So what I'm about to perform, it's a variation on a game, actually. It's normally a game for one player, but I thought I'd introduce a second player just so that there's no way that I can cheat, basically. I'll be letting you make all the decisions. So if you can imagine yourself in the trenches on the Eastern Front in 1917, the officers in a trench at that time, not sure if they were bored or stupid or what, but they came up with a game, which we know as Russian roulette. Now, I'm in England, so I can't do it the traditional way with a gun because we're not allowed those. So in place of a gun, I've got a spike. Just to show you it is a real spike. I've got a bag for the spike to go in.
Okay.
We'll play it from here. I put some sticky dots on this. This rotates. So I'm gonna approximate a revolver.
Okay.
And we've got these are empty bags in the Blue Peter style as one of the other magicians mentioned earlier. I prepared them earlier I've already folded over the top just to make them identical to.
Okay.
We get those on our sticky dot. Now, if anyone's not familiar with this game, or I write any numbers on there, we'll give it a bit of a spin so I have no idea which one has got the spike in it. You'll spin the revolver and there'll be one bullet in the chamber and the rest will be empty. I'm just going to number these so that you'll be able to tell me which one I'm going to be playing the game with, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, the rules are pretty simple. You spin the revolver and you slam your hand down on one.
Mm-hmm.
Like so.
Okay.
You've got numbers 1 through 5 left. If you'd like to take a pick of a number, I mean, that first one, it was a 1 in 6 chance. It's not really that much of a risk, really. We're now down to a 1 in 5. So
how about number 2?
number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on a 1 in 5 chance. This one's 20% that could be in here. Not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that one. We're now down to 1 in 4, though. 25% chance of me ruining my career. The chamber of spin. Pick a number. You've got 1 and 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, how about number 4?
Number 4.
Yep.
Okay, so.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
We're now up to 1 in 3. This is where it starts getting a bit hairy.
Yeah.
We've got 1, 3, and 5 left.
Okay.
Please don't pick the one that's got the spike in it.
Let's do number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're down to 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like those odds.
I don't either. So what we have 1 and
1 and 3. If you pick the one with the spike in, I won't be on your show tomorrow. Just so I'll be in hospital.
Oh, I don't know if I want to pick this one. Michael, you pick. I want to be responsible. Follow the number 1 or 3, Michael.
Let's do 1.
Okay. 1.
And 1, just to clarify, 1 is the one you want me to slam my hand down on, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
So there's no weird wording of the choices.
No,
not
no ambiguity whatsoever.
I'm going to slam my hand down on number 1.
Okay, I'm going to hide my eyes. I don't want to see this.
Drum roll, I guess.
Oh!
Wow.
Number 3
Wow.
is the only one
Hey.
remaining. Thank you, Michael and Tommy, for not ending my career early.
Awesome. Awesome. And thank you, Tommy, for putting me on the spot for potentially making me responsible for the demise of Simon Pearson's career.
It's your show.
Simon, I'm so glad to have you on my show. I really, really am. I admire the props you make. I admire the stories. Very soon on Tuesday Night Magic Theater or Open Mic, I'll be showing I'm not going to say which one, but I did receive it recently from you. I will be doing my own spin, as a matter of fact, on Wednesday, of using one of your props. I'm very excited about it, and I hope you're going to at least be in the audience or at least perform. Who do you admire? Who have been your early influences, Simon?
So early influences, Paul Daniels. I grew up watching his show on TV. Got into magic by getting the Paul Daniels magic kit, which a lot of British magicians around my age would have had their first go at magic with that. More recently, I mean, I try to do things my own way rather than emulating other people if I can. But in terms of people that I enjoy watching, there's at the moment yourself and Tommy, actually.
Very good point. It's so important. Like, for example, I am going to say a little bit here. I love the story that you came up with the prop I ordered from you, but I have to make it mine, right? So I've come up with my own. You'll see it hopefully on Wednesday with my own thing that's more me, and that's all I'll say. But it's so important for magicians of any age to not go by the script, to not go by necessarily the pattern or use it as a point of departure, but do what is you, who you are, and what feels right, not what feels right for the writer of the trick or the inventor of the trick, etc. So very, very important point, Simon. Thank you for that. Let's say folks want to get in touch with you either to buy something or to book you for a show. How can they get in touch?
Well, hopefully it's up on the screen, but ectmagic.com. It's my website, which is experts at the craft table. And that's where I sell all my tricks. If you did want to book me to perform, you can also contact me through there.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Again, thank you so much for honoring the whole show, all of us, with your appearance. And hopefully you'll come back next time. Mr. Simon Piercy from the UK, let's put our hands together for him. Yay. So we're traveling again. I love traveling. Back from the UK over to Holy Smoke, the US of A, and I believe it's the West Coast, California area. Here's a magician, and I'm not going to go on. I'm going to give you guys a chance to actually see him perform. I love watching him either on Tuesday Night Magic Theater or Open Mic Magic, Tuesdays or Wednesdays on Facebook, because first of all, I have no idea what he's going to do. And when he does it, wow. As magicians, I'm sure we all appreciate just what goes into what he does. And he makes it seem almost flawless. He makes it seem almost like second nature and not tricky, not, oh, there's something going on here. It's just, it flows. And so when I first saw Mitch, I thought, oh, I sure hope he'll come on my show. And sure enough, we present to you on this Friday Night Magic Wizard Emporium. We present to you from the US of A, Mr. Mitch Koth. Let's put our hands together for him.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Michael, for allowing me to be on the show. Sorry, I'm a little cut off, everybody, and I hope you guys can see me and hear me okay. Yeah, so a little quick introduction. Hi, hello, my name is Mitch Kothe, or you can call me Magic Mitch for short. A little bit of an intro for me. I also go on the Tuesday and Wednesday shows as well. I specialize in close-up card magic, and I've been performing magic for roughly about 15 years or so. I'm part of the IBM and SAM in our local area, and here I'm going to show you a debut routine that I've been working on for a couple weeks. I apologize in advance because this was originally done to music, and I could not get my music for this routine. So apologies to that, but I hope you still get to enjoy this performance. So without further ado, here is my routine. The routine goes like this. We always know there's a saying. There's either a gambler and then there's a magician. We even have a whole plot for this in card magic. It's called The Gambler versus the Magician. You know, the fascination of the realm of card magic, you know, it's always going to be debated among scholars, historians, and card conjurers on who is better, the gambler or the magician. So picture these kings. They're gamblers and magicians. Why do they have to compete with each other? I mean, they live in the same deck. One's just a little bit different from each other. They have different colors and such. You know, I never really truly understand competition. I understand it because it creates theater, it creates excitement, and it creates wonder. But have you ever stopped and wondered about this? I mean, actually wondered about this? I actually wrote something here on the card box that I want you guys to read. I'll hold it up nice and close if you guys can see that. So perhaps we are thinking about it all in the wrong ways. Perhaps maybe the gambler is the magician. I mean, you never know, right? Let me demonstrate this for you guys. So again, apologies because there was supposed to be music, but I will do my best here for you guys. 4 piles, empty hands. Four kings. 4 aces. Now, maybe there is no debate amongst this. I mean, we are seeing the greatest card technicians, and we are standing on the shoulders of giants. They before us have come, and we ourselves are living in the current future for their past and their greatest accomplishments. Try it again. There we go. And those are really shrunken down. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. You know, it got me thinking about this because the Chinese call it the yin and the yang. Taoism calls it good and evil. The Greeks call it athos and kaleos. Batteries from the Duracell call it positive and negative, whatever you like to prefer it. So why not I do this? I'll show you these aces here. And let me get these out in a pile. Observe. Right? And the ace it goes. And now it's gone. The ace is still there. But now it's changed. Last one. And it happens in the blink of an eye. Absolutely gone. And where do they go? They reappear together as one. But you know, the journey doesn't stop there. What if we tried this? Just like those kings, all a little different, but still live together in the same deck. Let's try it one more time. The aces, 1, 2, 3, 4. Empty hands. Only 3 remain. This time, the lovely ace of hearts will go right here in the center. Gone. Perhaps I'll do it with one hand. The ace of diamonds. Just a shake. It too disappears. And for the last one, the ace of spade. I'll hypnotize you and try doing this very slow. Face up it is. Now it's gone. Where do they go? Where do they disappear to? I know. Maybe, just maybe. Do you hear something? Do you hear something? You are one, you are many, but the gamblers and the magicians will always come back. A paradoxical conclusion that the gambler is always the magician and the magician is always the gambler, collectively coming together as one. That is my routine. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. My name is Magic Mitch. Hope you enjoyed that.
Thank you so much, Mitch, Magic Mitch Koth. What a treat. And I just loved what you did in your second to last vanish of the aces. They each vanished differently in a different manner. It looked so cool. I do a particular 4-ace standard McDonald's aces for more than 30 years, maybe 40 years. And I did a talking version for the Magic Circle in order, it was a preliminary thing. And then if I was accepted, then I had to do my test and all that was involved with that. But boy, you sure make me look like an amateur, Mitch. You do a fantastic job. You do. I'm not just saying that. I'm not just trying to be nice. Who were your influences in the world of magic?
Yeah, recently I just finished watching 300 Magic DVDs and downloads since the year has started. And so I have been learning from all sorts of different people since the year has began. It's based on region. If I had to say the UK, I'm sure the UK folks will know about this. David Penn, Craig Petty from the Wizard Magic Review. I grew up kind of watching their shows. Those were kind of my earlier influences. Later it was Wayne Fox, Paul Daniels. And I love watching and performing and hearing how they routine. I just absolutely love it. From the U.S., it would be people who I've studied from recently. So I grew up from the illusionist era and the late 90s and early 2000s. So I would be Brad Christian, Justin Miller, Danny Garcia, Nate Kranzo. My all-time favorite magician that I've ever learned from is Joshua J. I love his style and I love his routine. And there's just too many names to count, but those are my top influences.
Fantastic. I know many of those names and I love them as well. It's so nice to have somebody who really knows what they're doing and makes it pleasurable. Oftentimes in the world of magic, or at least in the clubs, it's been my experience. We used to call them knuckle busters, or there were all different kinds of expressions for the guys that did incredible sleight of hand. But not always entertaining. It's more, oh, they're juggling in a way, and oh, they're showing off, they're doing this and that. But yours has a rhyme and a reason, and it's logical and an illogical art, the art of magic. It's so nice to see that. I'm so thankful that you came on the show. How can people get in touch with you if they want to book you for a show?
Yes, if you would wish to book me, just like the other performers have been saying, I do have a website. It's magicmitchmagician.com. and I'm sure it will be posted. You can find me and drop me a DM on Instagram, NorCalRunner89. You can drop me a DM on Facebook, just under my name, Mitch Kothe. And you can also Google me as well if you wish to contact me.
Wonderful. Once again, thank you so much. I hope you'll join us on a future show. Thank you for honoring us. And of course, I want to give a shout out to Tuesday Night Magic Theater. You're often on, or Open Mic Magic on Wednesdays on Facebook. We'll look forward to seeing you again really soon. Thank you so much, Magic Mitch Kothe.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow, from the US of A, we are moving over rapidly back to the UK via video. He's one of my favorite entertainers who I've seen on Tuesday Night Magic Theater and Open Mic Magic. He's just the great. He's our mate. He is John the Great. Let's put our hands together for John the Great.
Right? We have another volunteer.
Somebody who expects to go up the stairs, come on.
Right? I'm not waiting on the water didn't put him off, right? So you can come up here, right? You're not going to get wet this time. You might get electrocuted, but you're not going to get right? So basically, we've got a pack of cards here, yeah? Yep. They're all different, yeah? Right, and now you are going to take a card out of there. Anywhere out there. Not there. No. Right. So, right. Don't show me, just show the audience, please.
They won't see it.
Well, you can have a look, right? Just show it round, yeah? Don't show me. Yeah. Okay? And you can put that back anywhere you want. Okay? And Malcolm can go and sit down. Okay, give him a big clap. Now, I hate cards. I can't do them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to the duck. Right, we're going to hand over to the duck here. Right, now what we're going to do, it's good this, isn't it? You've never seen anything quite like this. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to count to 3, we're going to say the magic words, and if this goes horribly wrong, you blame the duck and not me. Okay, are we ready? 1, 2, no, what did we forget?
The magic word.
No, we didn't get that far, did we? Right.
Oh, right. It's round his beak. You can still see. Oh, yeah.
So, it's good this, isn't it? Yeah. Right. So should we try again?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, boo. Was that your card?
What is it? I can't see it.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, give the dog a big clap. And that's all we've got time for.
Wonderful. Wonderful. We always love John the Great. We love watching him on Tuesday Night Magic Theater and Open Mic Magic on the Wednesdays. So, up next is somebody from the US. We're going from the UK back to the US, United States, and someone who is truly magical. He epitomizes the word magic, and you'll understand why in a few seconds. Let's put our hands together for the great Lee Germain.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. It's great to be here this evening, and once again, I thank you for the invitation. I have decided this evening I'm not going to perform. I thought about it, and instead of me performing, I am going to try to conjure up some specters, some spirits, and let them perform in my place but I will be doing everything they tell me to do. And I'm going to use them for guidance for this demonstration. I brought with me some slates, 4 slates, and these slates will permit the unworldly participant to communicate with us in a clear and legible manner. And speaking of participants, Doctor, would you have your show tech please bring the whimsical Robina on screen with me? There she is. Hi, Robina. How are you? You're muted. Oh, there you go. There you go. Good, good, good. Good to see you. Good to see you. Now, let me change cameras here real quick. And there we go. The first thing I'd like you to do, I'm going to have you help me with a couple routines.
Okay.
And this first one is going to be using involves these slates. Now, and I do want to get up there this piece of chalk. And these 4 slates are going to help us determine the end of this routine. Now, first of all, I have to clean them because the spirits can only work on these if they are clean. That one's ready. And now that was a little dirty, so let's turn this one over. Let's clean that, place that right there. Clean this one so that they're able to write. Ah, good, we have nothing there. And we have nothing there. Now, Rabina, we have 4 slates. And to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to number them. Let me pull them out a little better there. We're going to make this number 1. We're going to make this. I hate doing this upside down. Let's do it. There we go. Number 2. And here's number 3. And number 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that order. Now, Rabina, the first part of this, all I'd like you to do is just choose 2 of those numbers from 1 through 4, any 2 you would like. It's entirely your choice. What 2 would you like?
2 and 4.
2 and 4.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll get rid of 1 and 3 because you don't want those. And put 2 and 4 right there. Now, for the time being, I'm going to place them inside this little pouch and place in there with them a piece of chalk. We're going to close that up and just put it to the side for the time being. And we'll get back to that later. These. Now, I've asked the spirits to dwell and help us with the answer to this. So let's see how we're doing. I got to change this to here. There we go. Good. And I have to contact the spirit, so just bear with me for a moment, please. I think I'll use my cheat sheet. Closier, populus vote, decepti deceptur. That should help right there. Now, Rabina, I got in touch with you a few days ago and asked you to have 3 items handy and some scrap paper. Is that true?
That's true.
Okay. The items that I asked for were a key, a coin, and a pen. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And do you have those items?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now you can lay those down where I can't see them. Okay.
Okay.
We have not discussed anything else. Am I correct?
That's correct. That was all.
Okay. What I'd like you to do is the piece of paper, is it one piece or is it torn into different pieces? Because I need you to make it 3 pieces.
I have.
Tear it
Okay.
tear it into 3 different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, if you would, lay those pieces down where I can't see them. I don't want to see anything you're doing. And take the pen and number each one of those pieces, 1, 2, and 3. Each one, number 2 and number 3, each paper.
Okay.
You have them? Now place them in front of you in order from left to right, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Now, what I want you to do is try to keep your hands low so I can't see where you might be moving the items that you're going to be moving. And we'll start with this. I'd like you to pick up the coin and place it on any one of those numbers.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Have you done that? Okay.
Yes, I did.
Now, don't tell me which one. Now pick up the pen and put it on either one of the 2 remaining numbers.
Okay.
Okay? And now, finally, take the key and place it on the final piece of paper.
Okay.
Okay? Now, the placement of all those objects was entirely up to you. I did nothing to influence you in any way, and I have no idea where anything is, where you completed, where you started. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, okay. I'm going to give you some instructions and to do some rearranging, and I need you to follow my directions precisely. Okay, first of all, switch the key and the coin.
The key and the coin?
Yes, switch the key and
Okay.
the coin. And now if you
Click on
would,
all right, switch the numbers. Switch the numbers.
yes, I'm sorry, yes, thank you.
Just making sure I'm doing this.
And now switch whatever's on number 1 with whatever's on number 2.
Okay. Okay.
And if you want to fake me out with your movements and all that, that's fine too, because I don't want to really know where you're going. Now switch the key with whatever is on its right. Obviously, if there's nothing there, just leave the key where it is. Okay, but don't indicate to me in any way, shape, or form. And in a similar thought, switch the pen with whatever is on its left. And likewise, if there's nothing on its left, then leave it where it is. And finally, switch the coin to the right as the same as before. If there's nothing on its right, don't bother switching. Okay? Now, switch number 2 with what's on number 3. Okay? And now switch number 1 with the on number 3. Now keep your hand below this camera and pick up number 3 in your hand and hold it so I can't see it. Okay, you have it? Now, remember I said earlier that we were going to get back to this pouch. And there we go. Let's just see how our specters, our visitors, our participant from the unknown world has done. Because if we open the slates, that is what we have. Rabina, what is in your hand? The pen. Doctor, thank you very much. Rabina, thank you very much. To the unworldly participants, thank you very much. Back to you, Doctor. And thank you again.
And thank you so much, Lee Germain. That was awesome. Awesome. I love that routine. Like everyone else, I'm going to ask you, who do you love? Who do you admire? Who were your early influences in the world of magic, mentalism, etc.?
Well, fortunately, you gave us a heads up that you were going to ask this, because if you were just asking the spare of the moment, I'd have been still thinking, because so many people were involved. But I think my main influence initially was Doug Henning. That was my era. And I remember I watched all his specials and everything he was on TV with, and just I loved his style. I loved the fact he was so modern, and they did away with the black tails and tuxedo, and then went to a more casual. Perhaps he was okay, but a little too casual some days nowadays. My second influence was a couple named Joe Smiley and Georgie. Joe Smiley was a local magician in my hometown. I remember seeing him perform at a local amusement park when I was about 7 years old. And I watched him perform, and I got to meet Joe later on in life, and we became good friends. To the best of my knowledge, I was the last person to see him in the hospital prior to his demise. And the third thing, and this is probably going to upset some people, and I do apologize for that, but watching bad magic, because I'm telling myself I could do better than that. I could do better. And unfortunately, we all have those bad moments with bad magic. I had one last week, but that is the three things that probably inspired me the most for performing magic.
That makes so much sense as well. Sometimes we can be inspired to do better if we see something we disagree with or didn't like, or it gives us an idea. Perhaps it sparks an idea for a different or better routine. That's very, very cool. How can people get in touch with you, Lee, if they're interested in booking you?
Well, of course, my main point is my website, which is leegermain.com. And also can reach me at info@leegermain.com or Lee. Well, that's the easiest email. My other email is just, leegermain1134 at Comcast, just too much. Info@leegermain.com is the best one to do.
Perfect. Perfect. As always, it's an honor. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show this week. Hopefully, we'll see you on a future Tuesday night Magic Theater or Open Mic Magic, where we both often participate. And hopefully, you'll come back to do this show some Friday, not too far into the future. Thanks once again.
Well, thank you very much, Doctor, and I will be back. Promise. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Lee Germain, everybody, let's put our hands together for him. We're staying in the States. Yes, we are. And we're moving to a different part of the States. It's a part of the States I'm very familiar with. Some of my family are from there. They've since moved on, but many of them are still there. And that's the New York area. In New York, I was fascinated when I first saw this. I was going to say this young man. You can take that if you want, because something just felt right. I love his creativity. I love what he does. He's spooky. I almost started singing the theme song from the Addams Family.
Spooky, yeah.
Absolutely kooky. The great Tommy Burnett. Let's put our hands together for Tommy.
Thank you, Dr. Michael. I appreciate that. I haven't been called spooky and kooky ever, so thank you. Yeah. Lee, I love those slates. Yeah. Don't know where you got them from. So, I want to tell you about the Salem witch trials, which started in the year 1692. It was the persecution of people believed to have played with the devil. And on the 19th of April, a woman named Bridget Bishop took to stand and was accused of many things, but mostly accused of bewitching 5 of the women. at the same time, there was a secret society simply called the Movement of the Occult. And these were people who believed that Bridget Bishop was given to them by Satan himself to help stop the suffering of witches caused by the Christian church. Bridget would be known forever as the Given. Dr. Michael, I'm going to ask you, I don't need you on camera, but I need your voice. So this is the wrong, that's the wrong camera.
Okay.
Come on. Come down here. Come on. Let's go.
I'm
There we go.
here.
Okay, wait a minute.
That looks cool.
Over here. There we are. This is Bridget Bishop. This is an actual painting of Bridget, and it's a pretty famous painting as well. Now, I mentioned before, Bridget is known as the Given. And she was able to influence people just by talking and not really having to do much for anything else. She had what we would now call the gift of gab. She was pretty much able to influence anyone into doing whatever she wanted. But I thought it might be kind of neat if we could see if Bridget can influence you from the great beyond. So, Michael, I have a group of names. These are all real names of people who were accused, some of which were found guilty and some were found innocent. And in a moment, it will be your job to determine who was innocent and who was guilty. Now, I'll give you a freebie. Daniel Andrew was found innocent. And we're going to call this pile the angel pile because they believe that anyone who was innocent must have been touched by an angel to keep them pure. Whereas John Alden was found guilty and hung by his neck until dead because they believed that he had played with the devil. So we have a devil pile and we have our angel pile. Yeah? So this will be your first choice. Do you believe that Rachel Clinton was found innocent, or was it Hannah Gomez? It is your decision.
Rachel is innocent.
Okay. That means Hannah goes into the discard pile. And then we move on to George Burroughs and Mary Baker. Who do you believe was guilty, George or Mary?
George. George is guilty.
It's always the man. And so Mary goes into the discard pile as well. And now we'll go and see, now we have Sarah Cole and William Barker Jr. And you may notice as we go through these that some of these people have the same last name because they were related in real life. So we have Sarah Cole and we have William Barker Jr. Which one was found innocent?
William. William is innocent.
William.
Yeah.
And Sarah goes here. And now we'll do a couple more. Oh, is that an echo of me? It is. So we have Sarah Buckley and Sarah Bassett. Which one do you think is guilty?
Sarah Buckley.
Sarah Buckley. And Sarah Bassett goes over here. Now, you've been doing really well so far, but we're going to up the ante now. Now you must decide of these two who lives and who dies. So,
So
is it Mary Black?
Elizabeth, yeah.
Okay, Elizabeth
Elizabeth lives.
lives, and then Mary Black
Yes.
dies. And
Yep.
then we have Andrew Carrier and Edward Bishop Jr. Which one lives and which one dies?
Edward Bishop lives.
Okay, and Andrew Carrier dies. Now, I gotta be honest. You did that with very little hemming or hawing. You just kind of said he's dead and he's alive. So, you know, I'm not judging. I was just saying. That was an easy decision for you. So, yeah, you know, yeah. But let me ask you: did you feel influenced when you said Mary Black was a devil? Like, did you feel influenced?
Yes, actually, I did.
Interesting. And what about over here? Because you said, I mean, your choice had Hannah Brummer's end up being in the discard pile as well as Sarah Cole and Sarah Bassett. Did you feel
Yeah,
influenced by that as well?
I did. I could really, and I'm not just saying that, I could feel the energy behind them, behind their names.
Interesting. And over here, what about William Barker Jr.? Did you feel like, I mean, how did you know he was an angel? Did you
Yes.
feel it? You felt it?
Yes. Something felt biblical almost about that name, something of a higher resonance. So hence
It
I
does,
felt he was.
and maybe it's the middle name. I don't know, but Bishop. And again, Bishop. If you remember, the woman Bishop is
Yes.
related to Edward was her father. Okay, so
Interesting.
yeah, it all ties in together. And the reason why this is kind of resonates with me is I actually have an ancestor who was hung for being a witch on my mother's side, and there's a statue of her in Boston Common. Her name was Mary Dyer, and it doesn't really have anything to do with this particular story, but she was um, put to trial, and her husband was high in the government at the time and was able to get her off with a fierce warning. And she was like, "No, I'm not having that. I'm speaking out. I'm speaking my truth. And if you can't deal with that, then kill me." And they did. So, having said that, you make all of these decisions, yeah.
I did.
And
I did.
and it was interesting because the angel pile, I didn't tell you this, but on the back of these piles are letters of the alphabet. And in the angel pile, you can actually spell the word, and these are the cards that you chose at random, and they spell the word angel.
Wow. Wow.
In the
Beautiful.
devil pile, you chose all of these, and they spell the word devil.
Wow.
So
I love
this
it.
this raises the question: how? How did you do that? Was it luck? Were you did you just feel it, or were you influenced? Perhaps,
Yes. Yes.
perhaps by the given.
Wow. Beautiful. He's gone. All that remained was a laugh, and now he's gone. Oh, Tommy, would you return
I'm coming. I'm coming. Here we go.
through the
Oh,
ether?
oh,
Through the ether.
oh,
Wow.
come
Oh, that was powerful. That was powerful. I love that.
Thank you.
And that's why you are Tommy Burnett, the man who knows too much.
Well,
Is that right?
no, you said it right. Yeah, I don't know if that's why, but okay. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I love that effect. I love it. It was beautiful and visual, mysterious. It epitomizes the sort of thing we love and love doing as well.
Yes,
So,
yes.
Tommy, we have a lot to promote, but who were your earliest influences?
Well, many people before me have said my influences, but they didn't mention two. Well, maybe three. No, maybe four. No, okay. So I was early in life influenced by Doug Henning as well, but also David Copperfield. And
Yeah.
I was influenced by him because as Doug Henning took away the veil of formal dress, um, David Copperfield brought on the theme of theater in a way that I had never seen before. I know
Yeah.
some musicians like Blackstone Jr. and other musicians of that ilk. Um, and I'll be honest, that's the first time in 63 years that I've used the word ilk in a sentence. But
It's a kind of an animal, isn't it? You see them in forests, I think.
yeah, but David, um, I should say Mr. Copperfield because I've never met him, but he brought in a type of theater that included dance, it included movies. He did a version of the musician's assistant that was a scene out of the movie Psycho, where his assistant is taking a shower in a bathtub, and he pulls the curtain around, and he's dressed up as the grandmother, or the mother rather, who is really Perkins. And when the curtain gets pulled around again, he's in the shower and like dressed normally. And I was like, wow, that was I had never seen anything like that before. Um, and to be honest, it was the first time I ever saw the Dancing King, and I really took a liking to the Dancing King. I performed the Dancing King for about 20 years, and was one of my go-to effects on stage. But recently, I would have to say uh, Max Maven and people of that group, the people that he hung out with. And I'm
Yeah.
blanking on the other name, but perhaps there's a reason for that. But
I know who you mean, possibly the
yeah,
guy with the
yeah,
beard.
Thank you, Eugene Berger. Thank you,
That's
Eugene
it.
Berger. Yes, yes. Thank you. Yeah. They recently, because of the bizarre theme, I've been heavily influenced by both of them. So yeah.
Yes, and yet you've developed your own style, which is so exciting. You're a prime example of a magician or a person, if people can be magicians or magicians can be people, who's been influenced by other
Yeah.
magicians and then ran with it and created their own style and their own effects, if you will. So,
Yeah.
very exciting. I want
Thank
to
you.
mention your own show. Well, thank you for
Mm-hmm.
coming on. Thank you
Oh yeah.
for Mind Over Magic, which is seen on Saturdays. What
Yep.
time on Facebook?
At 4 p.m. and hopefully this week it will show up in the Mind Over Magic group. Because I think Kevin helped me figure it out last week, but we'll see. Maybe not. But hopefully, and but yes, you can find it on my Facebook page, Tommy Burnett Magic on Facebook. Yeah. And I just wanted to say real quick, my other influence was not a magician; he was an actor, and that was Vincent Price.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes. We often enjoy him from on a show called Svengoolie, and
Yeah.
Sven offers a lot of horror flicks, many of them with Vincent Price, and he had a neat style. Boy, he
He did.
sure did, along with
Yeah.
Peter Lorre and
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, they're kind of few and far between. You will not see in this day and age that ilk of
Yeah.
performer and vibe.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So, I think we've exhausted not only ourselves but the viewers. So I'm gonna at this point thank you. There we go. TommyBurnett.com, themagictaboo.com, where you sell incredible, original, bizarrest type of things, and Tommy Burnett at gmail.com. If you, whoa,
Yeah.
that was cool. If
You
you
like that?
want to,
I've
I
been
do.
practicing all day. Watch. I'll do it again. Watch.
Well,
Yeah. Okay.
thanks so
So
much for
here we
coming
go.
on.
Boom.
Oh, there it is again.
Here we go.
No, he
Yeah.
did it again. That's why they call him the amazing Tommy Burnett. Let's put our hands together for Tommy.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Tommy.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Well, thank you for coming on, Tommy, as well. Wow, from the USA, we're zooming over, literally and figuratively, because you see, this is Zoom. Over to the UK. I can say a lot of incredible things about this man, but I won't because I've said it before and I think I'll be embarrassing him. But we're very grateful for the hand that he wields. He's the brains essentially behind this little show. I merely front it. I'm merely a puppet, if you will. But Kevin is the brains behind the show in that he keeps things running smoothly. He's our resident techie. He's one of the UK's biggest, most honored and revered mentalists. Yes, he is Kevin Peel. Let's put our hands together for Kevin Peel.
Are you saying I'm fat, Michael? Yeah, thank you. Right, okay, so
Yeah.
time is marching on, so I need an assistant, so let's have a look. John Gordon, are you free? Can I bring you in? Yeah? Let me just bring you in because you've been left alone and nobody else has bothered you. Just make sure your mic's sounding okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, yep, brilliant. Okay.
Cool.
So, this is something I haven't done for ages, but it's something I really love doing. And oh, damn thing, it's come in again. So it's getting in the way. I've got two packs of cards here, John. One for you, one for me. Which one do you want to use? Which one do you want?
I'll take the blue.
You'll take the blue one, okay? That is the one that you're going to make all the decisions on, okay?
Okay.
I'll put that over there. This one here is the red one, obviously. I'll just go to that camera. And I'm going to just find a card in here, which I think, and while I'm looking for this card, can you tell me, are you a free will or a destiny type of person?
Free will.
I think that one then suits you. Yeah. Okay, we're just going to put that there and leave it all on its own. Now, this is the pack that you chose for yourself to do whatever we're going to do. Okay, so if I go to the overhead, just have a look through here. So we'll use the Joker in a second, you'll understand why. And if I just carry on going through, no particular order, they just seem like a random list of cards to you. And
Yep,
you're going to make the decisions now as to how many cards we're going to get to. And I'll explain how it works. So you said you were a free will kind of person, but I think that you're a destiny person, really, when you think you're a free will. So we're going to give you a chance. This card here is going to decide how many cards we count down to initially. Yeah?
Okay. Yep.
So, but because it's the Joker, which can be any card, you can give me any card, and this is your free will. You're going to have 2 goes of free will, by the way, and then we'll just rely on destiny.
Fair
so
enough.
what value do you want to give them?
Up to what number is this?
Oh, it's ace to king.
Okay.
It's a card.
9.
Yeah, a 9. So yeah. So 1. I'll just show you these 2 so you can see they're in no particular order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the 9th card is an ace. Okay.
Yeah.
If you said 10, it would have been a 9. Or if you'd said 8, it would have been a queen. But it came up as an ace. Now you've got 1 more chance of free will. You can change that if you want to a different card. Which if it's ace, we're only going to deal 1, so maybe you want to choose something else. You want to renumber it. Or we could just stick with 1. It's up to you.
Yeah, let's stick with 1.
Stick with 1. So the next one is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If it said 8, it would have been ace again. 9's a jack. And jack has a value of 11.
11.
Yeah. So we're now on destiny. You cannot change your mind anymore. Okay, so 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is a 7.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a jack, which is 11 again.
11. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 is a 7, and we haven't got enough cards to go any further. Yeah, because we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll have to stick on that one there. So that's the card you ended up on, and as you can see, you made 3 choices. Actually, you chose the first number. You decided to stick on the 1. And then each time destiny took you to a destination which eventually ended you up on the 7 of clubs.
It did.
Now, when I looked through this other pack, I said to myself, you're a destiny type of person, and I knew that your destiny was going to be the 7 of clubs.
Yeah, well, let's
Thank you,
yeah. Thank you.
And we'll bring in Dr. Michael. There we go. Hi, Dr. Michael.
Hi, Kevin. Brilliant, brilliant. Wow. That's all I can say. It was very clean and clear and amazed us. So my question for you, I decided to change my kind of catch off guard. How do you do it? Not how do you do your effects, of course, but you pretty much have to come up with new material twice a week for Tuesday Night Magic Theater and Open Mic Magic. Do you work a couple of weeks ahead? What do you do?
No. The decisions are made in that week. And I've got a pile of books there, and I just books, and I go through things that I've bought in the past, or or recently purchased, and a lot of things that are not designed for virtual. So, as Tommy knows, you've got to adapt things and work on a way of virtualizing them, as it were. Luckily, that one that I've just done is nice and visual and can work in real life or over the internet. But there are quite a few that you have to think a little bit. And Roy, who was on earlier, is also very good at adapting things to his style and to making them work over Zoom. And I've spent many hours having jam sessions with Roy to come up with ideas, and he's very helpful like that. So that's I mean, just a few things that sort of influences. I mean, a few people have mentioned Darren Brown, which changed my direction from just being a magician to actually going down the mentalist route. But prior, oh no, I'm just trying to think of the era. But the other person that actually influenced me and turned me towards the dark side was Simon Drake, who nobody has mentioned. And of course, he was a fantastic bizarre magician and did some wonderful things. He had a fantastic show on Channel 4 here, which I don't know if it was franchised and probably went to Canada. I don't know if they saw it in the States, but that is, I will, it's worth looking out for. It was called, my brain is just dying now because it doesn't want to think, the something cabaret. Ian Fenn will probably come up with the right name for me, or somebody else will.
Sure.
Yeah.
Secret.
I absolutely to look at that on YouTube or somewhere. I have to, because the more the better. And you're absolutely right. For me, the biggest challenge, which isn't such a major challenge anymore, is adapting. Even effects I've done in the past, adapting them to this medium, or in my case, a small. But no, in this medium, and picking and choosing. I usually work about 2 weeks ahead, unless there's something I love right away, and I figure this is going to work well on your shows. Then I'll just do it. It's like, but most of the time, yeah, it takes a bit of thought, but I love that. And at my age, it keeps my brain relatively lubricated, I guess. How can people get to you? Let's say they want to book you for a show.
The ukmentalist.co.uk, or on Facebook, the UK Mentalist. And I think it's the same on Instagram. I'm not sure what it is anywhere else. Those are the only two that I really am interested in. It's not on TikTok or TikTok or Tik whatever, which it never will be, because
I can't bring myself to do that. I did that briefly.
No.
I did the TikTok, and it's for 10-year-olds. So,
well, it's a medium where you will get there, you'll get there, and then you'll go there, and then you'll disappear because people have moved on. It's instant gratification, and it's not really for promoting yourself as a long-term magician or mind reader.
Absolutely. We are so delighted, honored, and thankful to have you be a part of the show. Thank you so much, Kevin Peel. I'm going to go through briefly the rundown of who we had this show, and it was a big rundown. We had up first from the U.S., Ari Rose, also from the U.S., Micah Cover on video. We had Paul Abbey from the U.K., Roy Stone from the U.K., Rubina the Enchantress from the U.S., Simon Piercy, U.K., Mitch Koth, Magic Mitch from the U.S., John the Great on video from the UK, Lee Germain from the US, Tommy Burnett, the USA, and last and certainly not least, Kevin Peel from the UK. If you've stuck with us this long, folks on Facebook, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for showing up, for sticking through the show. And we'll hopefully see you on the Tuesday and the Wednesday on Kevin and Rabina's shows, Tuesday Night Magic Theater and Open Mic Magic on the Wednesday. That's about all. I'm going to pretty much call it a day, call it a night, and hope to see you all again really soon. Thank you.